In the realm of Hollywood's enduring icons, where past glories often resurface amid archival digs and digital revivals, Clarence Williams III stands as a figure whose cool demeanor masked layers of complexity. Born on August 21, 1939 in New York City, the actor rose to prominence through roles that captured the countercultural spirit of the late 1960s and beyond, only to pass away on June 4, 2021 in Los Angeles after battling colon cancer. Yet, in October 2025, a startling revelation has emerged from long-sealed police records and unearthed footage. Williams was once handcuffed by authorities in a late-night altercation, an event from 1983 that has ignited fresh scrutiny and debate. This incident, previously buried in obscurity, paints a portrait of vulnerability beneath his on-screen toughness, prompting a re-evaluation of his life amid the era's social tensions. The following account traces this development through the contours of his journey, from urban origins to the spotlight, leading into the circumstances that led to that fateful night. Clarence Williams III entered the world amid the bustling energy of New York City during a time when the Great Depression's echoes still lingered in working-class neighborhoods. Growing up in Harlem, a district pulsing with jazz rhythms and civil rights undercurrents, he navigated the challenges of a segregated society that shaped his worldview. His early environment, rich in African-American cultural heritage, exposed him to street performances and community theaters, where storytelling served as both entertainment and resistance. Williams often reflected on these influences as the spark for his artistic inclinations, noting in later interviews how the city's vibrant yet unforgiving streets honed his resilience. This period instilled a sense of observation, allowing him to absorb the nuances of human struggle and triumph that would define his performances. Analytically, his upbringing in a community marked by economic disparity and racial friction provided a foundation for portraying characters who embodied quiet defiance, a trait evident in his future roles. As a youth, he dabbled in local drama groups, discovering acting as an outlet for expression amid familial expectations of stability. The 1950s, with their post-war optimism clashing against persistent inequalities, saw Williams honing his craft through school plays and impromptu gatherings, where improvisation became a tool for survival. Harlem's Renaissance legacy, from poets to musicians, permeated his formative experiences, fostering an appreciation for narrative depth over superficial flair. By his teenage years, the civil rights movement's momentum influenced his aspirations, pushing him toward professional pursuits that challenged stereotypes. This era not only built his emotional toolkit but also underscored the barriers faced by black artists, a theme that resonated throughout his career. At 86, if alive today, these roots explain the authenticity that drew audiences to his work, grounding his later fame in genuine lived experience rather than manufactured persona. The 1960s propelled Williams into the national consciousness when he landed the role of Lincoln Link Hayes on the groundbreaking series The Mod Squad, a show that redefined youth-oriented policing dramas by featuring diverse, rebellious protagonists working undercover. Debuting in 1968, the program captured the era's social upheaval, with Williams' portrayal of the stoic, afro-adorned detective earning acclaim for its subtlety and intensity. He described the character as a reflection of real-world complexities, stating in promotional discussions that Link represented the unspoken struggles of urban youth. This breakthrough not only skyrocketed his visibility but also positioned him as a symbol of integration in media, where black actors rarely led narratives. Analytically, the Mod Squad's innovative premise, 3 probationers turned informants, mirrored societal shifts toward inclusivity, allowing Williams to infuse his performance with layers of introspection drawn from personal encounters with authority. Following the series' 5-season run, he transitioned to film, appearing in projects that explored racial dynamics and personal redemption, solidifying his reputation as a versatile talent. His marriage to actress Gloria Foster in 1967, which lasted until 1984, coincided with this ascent, providing a personal anchor amid professional demands. The couple's shared artistic passions enriched his craft, though the pressures of fame tested their bond. By the 1970s, Williams diversified into stage work and guest spots, maintaining relevance through roles that demanded emotional depth. This phase highlighted his ability to evolve beyond typecasting, blending charisma with gravitas in an industry often rigid in its expectations. His contributions during this time not only advanced representation, but also critiqued systemic issues, making him a pivotal figure in television history. Behind the curtain of stardom, Williams' life intertwined professional highs with personal navigations, particularly during his union with Gloria Foster, a fellow performer whose career paralleled his own in intensity. Their 1967 marriage blossomed in the fertile ground of New York's theater scene, where mutual support fostered creative synergy, yet external pressures like long shoots and public scrutiny strained the relationship over time. Williams spoke sparingly of these dynamics, emphasizing in rare personal accounts the importance of privacy as a safeguard against exploitation. This reticence masked underlying tensions, including the challenges of maintaining equilibrium in a marriage where both partners vied for spotlight opportunities. Analytically, their partnership exemplified the dual-edged sword of artistic coupling. Inspiration flowed freely, but competition and absences bred isolation. By the early 1980s, as Williams pursued independent projects post-Mod Squad, the couple's paths diverged, culminating in separation amid whispers of emotional drift rather than scandal. His relocation to Los Angeles amplified these distances, immersing him in Hollywood's fast-paced milieu while Foster remained tied to East Coast endeavors. This period revealed Williams' introspective side, where off-screen he contended with the era's racial profiling and industry biases, experiences that echoed in his subdued public demeanor. Friends noted his preference for low-key pursuits, such as jazz listening sessions over lavish celebrity circles, underscoring a man who valued authenticity over ostentation. The dissolution of the marriage in 1984 marked a turning point, freeing him to explore solo ventures, but also highlighting the toll of sustained visibility. At the core, these years illustrated the human cost of fame, where personal realms often yielded to professional imperatives, setting the stage for unforeseen encounters with authority. The incident unfolded in the early hours of August 6, 1983, at a bustling Fatburger outlet on Santa Monica Boulevard in Los Angeles, where Williams, then 42, and riding the waves of his established career, found himself entangled in a confrontation that led to his detention by sheriff's deputies. Eyewitness accounts describe a heated exchange escalating from a minor dispute over service, culminating in Williams being restrained and handcuffed amid the restaurant's late-night crowd. Sheriff's spokesman Mason Kenney confirmed the arrest for disorderly conduct, noting the actor's compliance once subdued, though the episode's volatility shocked onlookers familiar with his composed image. This revelation, resurfacing in 2025 through digitized police archives and amateur video snippets released by a local history project, exposes a rare glimpse of vulnerability in a figure synonymous with unflappable coolness. Analytically, the event aligns with broader 1980s patterns of celebrity run-ins with law enforcement, often amplified by racial undertones in urban settings, where black public figures faced heightened scrutiny. Williams was released shortly after without formal charges sticking, but the handcuffing symbolized a stark contrast to his on-screen authority as an undercover operative. Details from the records portray a man possibly fatigued from recent shoots, his frustration boiling over in a moment of human frailty. The footage, grainy yet poignant, captures deputies securing his wrists, a scene that has sparked discussions on how such personal lapses humanize icons. Post-arrest, Williams retreated from immediate publicity, channeling energy into subsequent roles that delved into themes of injustice and redemption. This episode, though brief, underscores the precarious line between private exasperation and public consequence, particularly for actors navigating fame's isolating pressures. In the context of his marriage's dissolution, around this time, it hints at compounded stresses, where professional demands intersected with personal turmoil. The 2025 disclosure, prompted by archival digitization efforts, has reignited interest, framing the arrest not as a blemish but as a testament to resilience amid adversity. Following the handcuffing incident, Williams encountered a media whirlwind that tested his poise, with tabloids dissecting the event through lenses of celebrity excess and racial profiling prevalent in Reagan-era California. Released on bail within hours, he issued no public statement initially, opting instead for discretion that preserved his dignity while fueling speculation. Colleagues in the industry rallied subtly, viewing the matter as an aberration rather than character flaw, yet the episode lingered in casting considerations for sensitive roles. Analytically, this response reflects strategic image management common among black entertainers, who balanced vulnerability with defiance against systemic biases. The arrest's timing amid his post-Mod Squad reinvention amplified its impact. Projects like guest appearances on primetime dramas proceeded, but with added scrutiny on his offset behavior. Personal life intertwined here as the strain on his marriage to Gloria Foster intensified, with reports of increased distance as both pursued independent paths. Foster, focused on her own theatrical pursuits, maintained silence on the matter, prioritizing mutual respect over commentary. Societally, the incident resonated with ongoing dialogues about police interactions with minorities, echoing the very unrest Williams' characters often navigated on screen. Archival reviews in 2025 reveal how the event paralleled real-world cases of over-policing in Los Angeles, where nightlife venues became flashpoints for authority clashes. Williams' subsequent work, including films exploring urban grit, subtly incorporated these experiences, enriching his portrayals with authentic edge. Fan reactions, unearthed from fan letters and early online forums, expressed solidarity, seeing the handcuffing as emblematic of broader injustices rather than personal failing. This phase marked a pivot toward more introspective projects, where Williams delved into narratives of marginalization, transforming potential scandal into artistic fuel. The 2025 resurgence via declassified footage shared on streaming platforms has prompted retrospectives, highlighting how such moments humanize legacies and challenge sanitized biographies. Legal resolutions favored minimal fallout with no conviction, allowing Williams to rebound professionally while privately reflecting on life's unpredictabilities. This aftermath not only fortified his resolve but also illuminated the era's cultural fault lines, where fame offered little shield against everyday frictions. The 2025 disclosure of the handcuffing footage has catalyzed a profound reassessment of Clarence Williams III's enduring influence, positioning the incident as a lens through which to view his contributions to media and social commentary. Post-1983, his career flourished with roles in films like Purple Rain, where he embodied paternal complexity opposite Prince, drawing on personal depths forged in adversity. This evolution showcased his range from television enforcer to cinematic patriarch, each performance laced with understated power that resonated across generations. Analytically, the arrest revelation enriches interpretations of his work, suggesting autobiographical undercurrents in characters confronting authority or inner demons. His marriage to Gloria Foster, though ended, left a collaborative imprint. Joint appearances and shared insights influenced their respective outputs, with Foster's dramatic intensity complementing Williams' subtlety. In later years, health battles with colon cancer, culminating in his 2021 passing at 81, shifted focus to philanthropy, supporting arts programs for underrepresented youth, a nod to his Harlem origins. The unearthed details have sparked academic panels and documentaries exploring how 1980s policing practices intersected with celebrity lives, particularly for Black artists. Fans and critics alike note the irony. An actor who played a law enforcer now scrutinized through law enforcement's lens, underscoring Hollywood's dualities. Archival deep dives reveal Williams' post-incident advocacy, quietly backing initiatives against racial injustice, aligning his legacy with activism. Streaming revivals of the Mod Squad have surged, with annotations contextualizing Link Hayes against real-life parallels like the arrest. Familial reflections, though private, emerge in tributes emphasizing his quiet strength, a trait amplified by the revelation's vulnerability. Culturally, this moment invites discourse on posthumous narratives, where digital access unearths facets long dormant, challenging monolithic views of icons. Williams' influence persists in modern portrayals of complex Black masculinity, from brooding detectives to resilient elders, his handcuffing episode adding nuance to tales of triumph over tribulation. As 2025 unfolds, exhibitions and biopics loom, promising to weave this thread into a tapestry of authenticity, affirming his role as a bridge between eras. With the handcuffing revelation fresh in public discourse, Clarence Williams III's story continues to evolve, potentially inspiring new scholarly works or adaptations that delve deeper into his uncharted personal terrain. The incident's surfacing raises broader inquiries about archival ethics and celebrity privacy in the digital age. What are your thoughts on this unearthed chapter in Williams' life? Do you anticipate it reshaping perceptions of his legacy? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more in-depth cultural explorations. The unearthing of the 1983 arrest footage in 2025 owes much to the digital age's archival renaissance, where institutions and private collectors digitize decades-old records, making once private incidents accessible to global audiences. This process, driven by initiatives like the Los Angeles Historical Media Project, has democratized history but also ignited ethical debates about posthumous exposure. The footage, originally captured by a bystander's Betamax camera and stored in police evidence logs, resurfaced during a routine digitization sweep, its grainy frames uploaded to a public database with minimal redaction. This accessibility has fueled fascination, with clips garnering millions of views on platforms like YouTube, where users dissect Williams' demeanor, calm yet visibly shaken, as deputies lead him away. Analytically, this phenomenon reflects a broader cultural shift, the erosion of privacy boundaries in an era where data preservation outpaces consent. Scholars argue that such disclosures, while illuminating, risk exploiting deceased figures unable to contextualize their own narratives. For Williams, the footage amplifies his humanity, showing a moment of fallibility that contrasts with his curated image as Link Hayes, yet it also prompts questions about agency. Did he intend for this chapter to remain sealed, or would he have embraced its exposure as part of his complex legacy? Industry peers, including surviving Mod Squad cast members, express mixed sentiments. Some laud the transparency for destigmatizing personal struggles, while others decry the voyeurism inherent in revisiting a minor incident. The legal aftermath of 1983, dismissed charges and a sealed record, underscores the era's leniency toward celebrities, yet the 2025 lens applies modern standards where public accountability demands outweigh historical context. Social media amplifies this tension, with hashtags like #ClarenceTruth trending alongside debates on whether such revelations honor or sensationalize. The archival surge also uncovers related documents, incident reports noting Williams' cooperation and a lack of prior offenses, suggesting an isolated lapse rather than a pattern. This clarity tempers sensational narratives but fuels academic interest, with universities hosting symposia on the ethics of digital exhumation. For Williams' family and estate managed by distant relatives, the disclosure prompts calls for tighter controls on posthumous releases, yet they acknowledge the footage's role in humanizing his story. This chapter of the saga highlights a paradox. The same technology that preserves Williams' performances also exposes his vulnerabilities, reshaping how society engages with its icons. The handcuffing incident, now a cultural touchstone, resonates beyond Williams' personal narrative, drawing parallels to contemporary issues of policing, race, and celebrity in the United States. In 2025, the footage's release coincides with renewed scrutiny of law enforcement practices, echoing movements like Black Lives Matter that highlight disproportionate treatment of African Americans. Williams' encounter, though resolved without lasting legal consequence, mirrors countless undocumented cases from the 1980s, where Black individuals faced heightened police attention in urban hubs like Los Angeles. Cultural critics draw connections to modern celebrity scandals where figures like Kanye West or Will Smith navigate public fallout from personal missteps, amplified by social media's unyielding gaze. Williams' arrest, minor in scope, becomes a case study in how systemic biases infiltrate even privileged lives, with analysts noting the irony of an actor known for playing a detective facing real-world authority. His post-1983 career choices, roles in films like Deep Cover and Tales from the Hood, reflect a deliberate engagement with themes of systemic injustice, suggesting the incident informed his artistic lens. In 2025, streaming platforms capitalize on this narrative, curating playlists that juxtapose his Mod Squad episodes with documentaries on 1980s policing, framing Williams as a figure bridging entertainment and activism. Fan communities active on platforms like Reddit organize virtual watch parties, dissecting how his on-screen defiance mirrored off-screen realities. The revelation also prompts comparisons to peers like Sidney Poitier, whose polished image avoided such public scrutiny, highlighting Williams' unique position as a gritty, relatable icon. Educational initiatives emerge, with film schools incorporating the footage into curricula on media ethics, exploring how personal incidents shape public personas. The cultural reverberations extend to Williams' philanthropy, with his estate redirecting funds to youth programs addressing police-community relations, a legacy amplified by the disclosure. This moment underscores a timeless tension, the interplay between individual actions and societal forces, where a single night in 1983 reverberates through decades, redefining Williams as both product and critic of his era. The discourse invites reflection on how modern celebrities navigate similar pressures, with Williams' story serving as both cautionary tale and testament to resilience. As the dust settles on the 2025 revelation, Clarence Williams III's legacy undergoes a dynamic transformation, poised to influence future artistic and cultural explorations. Biographers and filmmakers, inspired by the arrest footage, propose projects that reframe his life as a tapestry of triumph and tribulation, with studios like A24 eyeing a prestige drama blending his Mod Squad days with personal struggles. These initiatives aim to capture the duality of a man who embodied cool defiance while grappling with human frailties, offering a nuanced portrait for new generations. His influence persists in actors like Michael B. Jordan, who cite Williams' understated intensity as a model for authentic storytelling. The incident's exposure also galvanizes advocacy, with organizations like the NAACP leveraging his story to push for archival transparency while safeguarding privacy rights. Family tributes, though guarded, emphasize his commitment to mentorship, with anecdotes of him coaching young actors in Harlem theaters post-1983, a quiet redemption arc. Analytically, the handcuffing episode elevates Williams from a television star to a cultural archetype, embodying the complexities of Black identity in media. Planned retrospectives in 2026, including a MoMA exhibit on his career, will integrate the footage, presenting it as a pivot point rather than a blemish. This reimagined legacy challenges the industry to confront its own history of racial dynamics, ensuring Williams' contributions endure beyond nostalgia. The narrative arc, from Harlem Kid to handcuffed icon, offers a blueprint for resilience, inviting creators to explore how personal setbacks fuel artistic depth.